So today we're going to discuss the top 5 mistakes uh, for making a successful Innovator Founder visa application. So number one is dealing with co-founders. You may want to apply not you alone. You may want to apply with a co-founder, but it's very important to ensure that you and your co-founders have a very well-defined roles within the business, that it's impossible for the business to be successful without either of you. Um, if you don't have a clear explanation why each of your co-founders is needed in the business, uh, both the endorsing body and the home office may think that one of the co-founders is just, if you like, a passenger on the bus. They're not driving the business, and therefore they may be declined an endorsement. So it's important to make sure that everyone is important and irreplaceable. The second potential mistake we see a lot of applicants making is emphasizing that IT is going to be outsourced. It's a tricky bit because the new guidance emphasizes that you cannot outsource your innovation. And the way Home Office interprets this is that you should do the key tech development in-house. Um, One way to solve it is to ensure that you have a CTO in place, someone as part of the core team. You can still rely to some degree to outsourcing, but they cannot be the key of developing the technology behind your innovation. The third point I see kind of confusion in applicants is what is innovation? And it's an interesting concept because the way Home Office defines innovation and the way endorsing bodies define innovation can be sometimes different. And it is unfortunately very narrow type of innovation which is suitable for the visa. It is not an iterative innovation. And right now we see that Home Office and the endorsing bodies expect the innovation to be disruptive. Um, that means that you need to create something entirely new. It doesn't have to be a significant major feature, major functionality, but it has to be new in its core that no other business in the UK has already done it. Um, that's kind of the direction you need to be focused on. The fourth issue I see is for businesses and applicants who already have started their operations. In particular, it can be a little bit tricky if operations have started abroad, so not in the United Kingdom. You can, of course, bring this business to the United Kingdom, and even if it's already innovative, even if it's already proven to develop some kind of innovation, in your application, you need to show what innovation will be created during the next 3 years. That means you cannot simply copy and paste what has already been created. You need to show what new research and development activity will be taking place in the United Kingdom. The final bit is the IP strategy, the intellectual property strategy. That means things like patents, design rights. You need to have a thought about this in advance, partially because you will score extra points if you have a detailed IP strategy in your initial application. But at the same time, if you think longer term in terms of when you would be applying for permanent residence, you would need to fill several criteria in order to be able to get the final endorsement you need to get to apply for permanent residence, the indefinite leave to remain status. One of these requirements, which tends to be considered easier to attain compared to job creation, is the intellectual property strategy. So you need to make sure that you can fill this criteria early on, because it requires some level of planning, and you cannot just approach IP strategy towards the third year. You have to do it way in advance.